Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now. We are 1 week away from training camp beginning, which means you make sure you guys are subscribed, you're up to date throughout all the training camp news and rumors that inevitably will be coming not only this week, but next week and beyond as we get closer and closer, really like less than a month away from preseason games in Philadelphia. August, you get the preseason games. We'll cover it all here on the channel, so go down below and subscribe. All right, let's jump into our Philadelphia Eagles video for today. A little bit different. Like I said, 1 week away from training camp. We literally will get the players at the NovaCare Complex up in Philadelphia, getting on the football field for actual training camp practices 1 week from today. And so I want to jump into the top 5 biggest and most important training camp battles that you want to keep an eye on as you read the news and read the tweets and read the updates entering 2021 and training camp. So, number 1. And again, these are in no particular order, but they're all important, and this one, to me, might be the most important one, and that is the Jordan Mailata versus Andre Dillard battle at the left tackle position, which is probably the most notable and most, I'd say, impactful battle we're going to talk about today because it's the left side and the blind side of Jalen Hurts. Like, this is a big-time position in the National Football League, the left tackle, and so now we have the up-and-comer in Jordan Mailata, who's the nobody who suddenly has turned into somebody. I mean, to me, one of the most exciting young offensive linemen on the Eagles, if not in the National Football League, versus the, I'd say, proven college winner in terms of being a first-round draft pick in Andre Dillard, but now multiple injured and now struggling to go ahead and get back to where he was supposed to be when the Eagles took him in the first round just a couple of years ago. So you have this very interesting battle now pitting these two, and I think it's going to be very open. I think Mailata might have an edge based on his performance and production last year, but don't count out Andre Dillard, who has done some work this offseason. I think CBS Sports' write-up on Andre Dillard recently is a good encompassing quote on what Dillard has been able to do to get himself ready for a competition in this year's training camp. We'll throw it up. Quote, Dillard, who did not play last year due to a biceps injury, allowed 25 pressures on 170 pass-blocking snaps in his rookie season, 2019. With a 14.7% of pressures allowed per dropback, Dillard has struggled with the ins and outs of NFL life since being drafted, battling confidence issues in an inconsistent rookie season that carried over into year 2. The Eagles traded up in the first round, just like Dillard 2 years ago, and aren't exactly willing to give up on their investment so soon. Dillard eliminated social media and added muscle in an effort to improve his lifestyle and compete with Mailata for the job. End quote. I've seen pictures. He has gotten bigger. He looks like an absolute beast compared to where he was even 2 years ago in 2019 when drafted in the first round by Philadelphia. I think Dillard's going to get a fair shot here. I think, again, we all like Mailata. We all think Mailata's going to be the guy. We love the size, the hands, the footwork is incredible. We love the story, being a rugby player, never playing in the National Football League. But Dillard was a first-round draft pick. You don't want to waste a first-round draft pick on a guy who never plays. And so they're going to give himself a very fair and open battle to see who wins at left tackle. I think Mailata will inevitably win. I think they found an absolute diamond in the rough at left tackle there, but we'll keep an eye on this as it begins our training camp battles for today. Number 1 of the 5, who wins this one? Dillard versus Mailata. Keep an eye on that one. I'll ask you guys, though. Who wins it? Is it going to be Jordan Mailata, or will it be Andre Dillard? Type D down below for Dillard. Type M down below for Mailata. Let's jump into some more battles here, as I think the running back spot is another great case of a backup position battle. We're talking a lot about those because, yes, there are starting battles to work on, but really Philadelphia has a lot of starters already securing their spots. And so with Miles Sanders being the number 1 running back in Philadelphia, the question then becomes who will be running back number 2. And we've talked about this, right? Kerryon Johnson versus Boston Scott versus Kenny Gainwell. All of them will make the roster. Maybe, the Cam Akers injury today in terms of the Rams guy blowing out his ACL. Maybe a trade could happen, but I think that you guys know who I'm going to say is going to win this battle. I think it'll be Kerryon Johnson. I'm a big Kerryon Johnson fan ever since he was in college. I think he didn't get a fair shake in Georgia because Georgia was drafting other running backs, the Lions were drafting other running backs, then the Lions went ahead and had Adrian Peterson in there as well, and then DeAndre Swift, and so Johnson has never had a fair shake. I think he turns out to be the number 2 running back, but I'm not discounting Scott and Gainwell. I think Gainwell is going to be really, really fun, and I appreciate what Scott has done the past couple of seasons, and so this will be an open battle for the number 2 running back spot. There will be a very clear winner. I think it will be Kerryon Johnson, but with that being said, I do think that all 4 of these guys are going to get plenty of snaps during the season, especially if there's an injury, then you get bumped up, and so all 4 should make the roster, and I'm pumped about that because that means the Eagles running back depth chart looks pretty darn good for 2021. All right, before we go and keep going here, they have an insane deal on some Philadelphia Eagle polo shirts right now at chatsports.com/Eagle Polo. They're up to 40% off. And these are the polos that, I own a couple of these, which I wear on the golf course with the boys literally once a week. I go golf trip on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evenings, walk 9 holes or whatever it is, and I'm rocking my Eagle polos. Got a black one and a green one as well from the same link, chatsports.com/Eagle polo, up to 40% off. I need another one, right? I golf enough, right? I can go get another one of these. Multiple styles, multiple fits, multiple colors. Go ahead and check out the link and pick one up today. Again, it's a limited time offer, up to 40% off, chatsports.com/Eagle polo. Jumping into some more training camp battles here as we get closer and closer to the start of training camp, 1 week away upon filming this here on a Tuesday, July 20th. We move over to the wide receiver position. I think the top 4 are going to be very clear. And so who's going to be number 5? Is it J.J. Arcega-Whiteside? Is it John Hightower? Or is Quez Watkins? Now, the 3 of these guys have all underachieved. Now, Whiteside has underachieved for longer, but Watkins and Hightower did nothing last year to go ahead and secure an instant spot in the 2021 depth chart. And so a lot of these guys are going to battle even for a roster spot, but each of them has had a little bit of hope this offseason. We've heard about J.J. Arcega-Whiteside moving over to the slot and changing up his routine and getting better, according to offensive coordinator, according to the wide receivers coach. And so you think Whiteside has a shot to go ahead and take the number 5 spot. But recently, Quez Watkins was cited working out with Jalen Hurts, and he looked pretty darn good. He looked healthy. He looked fit. He looked tall. As we, of course, remembered, he was drafted to go ahead and be that vertical threat along with John Hightower. And so each one of these 3 guys have had a good offseason, or at least we've been told they've had a good offseason. The question is who's going to go ahead and win the battle. I want Whiteside to win this battle because, again, a second-round draft pick. I don't want to be the whole, well, you missed out on drafting DK Metcalf and then you eventually cut J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I hope that they keep Whiteside. I hope that he actually turns out to play well because I think the body and the size is a lot what Philadelphia needs in terms of their wide receivers. They have the small guys, they have the speed guys, but they need a bigger body, not named or other than Travis Fulgham, I should say. And I hope that it's going to be Whiteside, but I'm not convinced that it will be. But it is as a position group to definitely keep an eye on here, really the entire wide receiver group, because we understand that Smith and Reagor are going to be 1 and 2, who's 3 and 4, and really, and more importantly, as I mentioned, who is number 5. Battle between Whiteside, Hightower, and Watkins. Okay, which position group are you fixed on? Are you keeping an eye on here during training camp? If there's one position group to keep an eye on, which one is it? Let me know what it is down below. Is it wide receiver? Is it corner? Is it D-end? Is it left tackle? Is it running back? Let me know which position group is the most important battle you're watching right now going into this season. All right, we mentioned our goal of trying to get to 20,000 subs by the start of training camp. It means we have a week left, and we need only less than 500 away. We're at 19,529 total subscribers on the channel, trying so hard to get to that elusive 20,000 subscribers here on the channel. So help us out. Less than a week until we reach our goal. Go down below and hit that red subscribe button to get the latest and greatest camp news and rumors and videos like this, breaking down position battles as well, all upcoming this week and next week, and of course as we get closer and closer to the start of the NFL season. All right, jump into some more training camp battles here as we, again, get closer to the NFL season. I want to jump into some defensive battles as well. We mentioned the offensive guys, Mailata versus Dillard, Johnson, Scott, or Gainwell, the wide receivers. Let's go to the starting defensive end position. I think Sweat versus Barnett is another one to go ahead and keep an eye on here because the two players are very similar. We'll show you that in a second. Now, there are people saying that Ryan Kerrigan could be competing for a starting role. I don't see it. He played less than 30% of the snaps in Washington last year, and so he's kind of moved off of being a every down pass rusher. I think Graham is one pass rusher. I think Cox and Hargrave are your 2 D tackles, and then it's a battle between Sweat and Barnett in order to go ahead and be that day one starter. Now, again, much like the running back spot, it's going to be a rotational group. They're going to mix Kerrigan in there. They're going to mix, everybody is going to have a chance to go ahead and play along that defensive line, but I do think that we're looking at who starts officially, like snap number 1, who's in there on big third downs. Is it Sweat or Barnett? And really, both of them have been, eerily similar, especially last year. Look at these numbers, right? Both had basically 6 sacks, 6 versus 5.5, basically 34, 38 tackles, and right around 12 to 16 quarterback hits. They've been mere images of each other, which is a little bit surprising because I would say that Sweat had a better overall 2020 season, and statistically he did, but not by much. And so I think Barnett got a little bit overshadowed just because Sweat produced in bigger moments, they get bigger sacks at bigger times on third down and late in games. But I do think this is a battle to keep an eye on, because the winner is going to get just a couple more snaps and a little bit more opportunity to go ahead and make pressures. I think Sweat wins this one, but obviously Barnett, going into a contract year where he can be let go and sign for any other team, wants to be able to produce in order to get that bag and secure that money going into the 2021 or 2022, I should say, off season. All right, final battle here. We'll stay with the defense, and this one's interesting, right? It's the number 2 cornerback spot. Now, I guess McPherson versus Maddox is the only options you really have right now in terms of the cornerback depth chart. As we said, it's grossly under I would say, stocked at the moment right now. They really need to bring in another cornerback, but as it currently stands, if you're talking about a training camp battle, it'll be Maddox versus McPherson. This is an open battle that's been talked about and is well known because Slay is going to be on one side, who is going to go ahead and be on the other. I think you would like McPherson to win this battle just because Maddox has proven to be wildly inconsistent during his career in Philadelphia, but it wouldn't surprise me if McPherson were to just be too young and too green in order to go ahead and actually win a number 2 cornerback, a starting cornerback spot in Philadelphia. With that being said, there are some possible additions. We talked about these on the show a couple of days ago. If they wanted to make this battle obsolete and sign or trade for an additional official number 2 cornerback, there are options. We mentioned this. Xavier Howard, Stephon Gilmore has been thrown out there as well. Steven Nelson, of course, being actively recruited by Darius Slay. And then a much lesser, I would say, price target in Brian Poole, the former Jet quarterback as well. So there are options out there. But as it stands right now, McPherson versus Maddox seems to be the real cornerback battle that's taking place right now because there just aren't that many options at the cornerback spot as we have talked about. All right, when done this, drop a like for training camp being 1 week away. Upon filming this video, we are 1 week away from training camp. Maybe you're watching it on Wednesday, Thursday. It's a little bit closer, less than a week, but drop a like that we are officially here. We've made it through the offseason. Training camp is upon us. The Eagles are going to be going thumbs up for a healthy training camp and thumbs up if you're pumped for training camp as well down below. Ultimate for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I'm your host, Thomas Mott, as we sign off on this video, breaking down the top 5 training camp battles to keep an eye on. Will more, arise? Probably, but these are the big 5 you got to keep an eye on, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off the rest of your day.